Jacob's name was omen nomen for replacing Esau's rulership. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And this is going to be a short lesson. I just wanted to go into, Jacob's name, which goes back to the Hebrew word Yaikwab, and to further show you that Jacob's name is really, an omen nomen for replacing Esau's rulership with a more righteous and excellent rulership. So, as you may know, our forefather Jacob, he supplanted his brother Esau, who is the progenitor of the so-called white race that you see today. Whether if they're calling themselves white Russians or white Australians, or whether if they're calling themselves white Europeans or white Americans, et cetera, et cetera. So, and that mainly starts with the so-called elites who rule this world today. So our forefather Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, supplanted their forefather Esau of his birthright, and then he also took Esau's blessing as well. Okay? So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce from the presence of Esau, was scarce yet from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is look up the definition for Jacob here. And as you can see, it is the Hebrew word Yaikwab. I'm just going to give it a moment here to load up. So as you can see right there, it's the Hebrew word Yaikwab. Down here, it means heel holder, supplant. Now, when you read the book of 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, it tells you for the time that Jacob and Esau were born of Isaac, Jacob's hand held first what? The heel of Esau. And what that was Jacob holding the hand of Esau was a metaphor for Jacob bringing Esau down from out of power and replacing Esau's rulership with a righteous rulership, which is ultimately the kingdom of heaven. But what I want to draw your attention to is this word supplanter here. Because I'm going to just look in this box real quick before I continue on. Because when you look up the definition for supplant, right? Here you got supplanter from Google.
Supplant.
It means to supersede and replace. So when you replace something, it means that you get rid of the former and you bring in the new. Like for an example, you might be the boss or the manager of your job, and you see somebody in your office that's not doing the job correctly. So what do? You have that person replaced. And how do you replace that person? By getting rid of that person and hiring somebody new to come in and get the job done. So Jacob's name, which is Yaikwab, literally means to replace. So in these last days, like it tells you in 2nd Esdras, let me just get that real quick in the King James Bible. King James Bible online.org. King James Bible online.org. Okay. And there's a reason why in Second Esdras it tells you that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Because Esau's real rulership is going to be replaced. This wicked kingdom and this wicked society is going to be done with, and the Lord is going to set up a new rulership, a righteous one, and that's going to be Jacob's rulership. Chapter 16. I don't know. Chapter 6, verse 6, something. I don't know the exact verse. So I'm going to just go ahead and view. Oh, well, that's the spirit. The Wadi Yahweh Shai. 2nd Esdras 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, right? As I've mentioned earlier. Let's view the chapter. Scroll down here. Okay. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So this wicked rulership, so at the in the last days, the so-called white man will be the last wicked ruler, because really when it says Esau is the end of the world, that's talking about Esau's going to be the last wicked ruler to have control over the planet. Because prior to him, who did we who was ruling before Edom came into power? You had the Persian and the Medes, you had the Babylonians, you had the Ammonites, the Moab. All these other nations had their time to rule. So the end of a wicked rulership, the end of a nation of wicked people having control of the earth is going to end with Esau. And Jacob's going to be the beginning of a righteous kingdom that's going to flourish throughout the whole earth. The hand of man betwixt the heel and the hand. Other questions, Esdras, ask thou not. You see? So Jacob's the end of the world. Salakia, slip of the tongue, not with the heart. Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Jacob is going to replace Esau's rulership with a more righteous rulership, a rulership that's going to be righteous and last for all eternity. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.